Alright, we're back in part 2 of our bogus Windows optimal tool. And we've actually booted this into the safe mode. And we can see that the software is actually still there, it's still live. And I'm going to go ahead and attempt to close this, and you can see that we are actually in the safe mode. And it did let me close it. But if we try to run or execute anything such as regedit, we immediately start getting errors. It's basically still there blocking everything. And even if we start with Malwarebytes, what happens here is that it detects Malwarebytes and basically just shuts it off. If you can't get it to scan, it only scans for basically a little while, and then basically it will shut down. And we'll see if we can't pull off a little bit of a scan here real quick. So we know the software is still there, it's still alive. And so how do we get rid of this if we can't use something like Malwarebytes? And I was watching a bunch of videos earlier on removing viruses on YouTube, and I noticed that a lot. See, there it goes, it just killed it. I noticed that a lot of the videos basically use Malwarebytes, and it's a good tool, but it really should be just considered that, a tool and kind of a regiment of tools that you need to ensure a computer is clean. So here we are in the safe mode. Can't get to any of our utilities. So what we're going to do is we're going to reboot this, and we're basically going to start it up in the safe mode with command prompt only. This way we won't get the Explorer running, and we'll see if that will attempt to actually stop this. So we'll do a reboot here, and once again we hover over the F8 key and get ready to select from our boot menu. There's our BIOS screen. There's our boot menu. Come up here to safe mode with the command prompt. Give it a second here to boot. The safe mode really doesn't load a lot of the startup programs, and the safe mode with the command prompt even loads fewer. So sometimes if you know how to manipulate the computer well enough, you can actually do a lot of things from this mode. And as a matter of fact, you can actually start Explorer in this mode, and it's just like booting it in the safe mode. But a lot of times you won't get a lot of those added features, and the way these new viruses hide themselves at startup, and you're about to see that here as we go through the registry. Now it's real important, if you're not real comfortable with using regedit, I recommend that you don't use it. Okay, so what we're going to do here, there's a couple of keys that are almost always used. One of the more common ones is basically the run key, and we see that here if we come down here to Windows and go to current version. And blow this up here so you can get a clearer shot of it. And here's our run key. And this is where you normally would see a lot of different types of programs, like your Java updating. This is where a lot of your malware actually places itself in order to run. Sometimes we'll put it in run once. Sorry about that, my phone is ringing. Okay. And another place that I've seen it at is actually down here. If you go down here to Windows NT, current version, come all the way down here to where it says Win Logon. Okay. And this right here, this is your shell. And if this is ever changed to anything other than Explorer, you'll actually get something running right when the computer boots up. And a lot of times it will actually block you from doing a lot of things. So this is an important key to look at as well. There's also another one. If you come up, I'm looking under the local machine here, but you can also have one here in current users and HKey users, and default. If you go under default software, Microsoft, Windows, current version, and Windows NT current version, and there's another Win logon right there. Okay, and we see I don't see anything here that looks wrong, so we'll come back up here and take a look at our current users. Software, Microsoft, Windows NT current version, when log on. Oh, okay, look here. This is something you should never see. You should never see a shell and then the path to it be somewhere in a users folder. Well, like what we see here, the documents and settings basically going into the Dell user profile. Okay, that's a real no-no. So we know that should not be there at all. Now, let's take a look real quick and get the name of the file that is responsible. And there it is. There's the name of the actual file. And now we know the path that it's located in. I want to copy that real quick just to make sure that it's not anywhere else. We'll delete it. And I'm just going to come here and we're going to do a find, just to make sure there's no other places in the registry this particular file is listed at that could also cause it to run. Okay, see one there. That's basically a cache, so it doesn't matter. We kill this. Also, I've noticed something too, and that is that Malwarebytes doesn't always remove these registry keys. A lot of times it will actually remove the file, but it won't actually remove the key. So there we go, shut that down. Now we can fire up our Explorer. And if I wanted to at this point, I could actually run Malwarebytes. And I could have done that to start with, but I wanted to show you the importance of how these particular types of rogue antivirus programs, a lot of your backdoors, Trojans, a lot of these are changing the keys of where they actually start up and making it harder to start up and get to the tools that you need to actually do the cleaning. We'll go ahead and reboot this now that we've removed that key to see if our infection is gone. But usually a telltale sign is whenever you see a path that's going to be in a user's folder. That's almost always an indication that something has hijacked your computer. Boot up here, and let's hope we don't get the protected mode little splash on it. Alright, and there you go. So now it's gone. Now would be a time that if I wanted to clean up the files that are still present, but they're just not basically being told to execute at this point. So now would be a good time to go ahead and update Malwarebytes and to run a full scan. So that's basically how you remove a virus that will not allow you to execute Malwarebytes when you cannot get to the task manager, as well as msconfig or regedit. Alright, Steve Parker with Operation Lockdown, Amarillo, Texas. We'll see you next time.